Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to today's video. It is September 11, 2025. Let's take a look at the markets again. The uptrend continues here, and we started to get a bit more power to the upside, which is kind of good to see. If if this is the real deal, we should continue. We have to watch tomorrow, Friday, for a failure. So if tomorrow's day closes below today's low, I think that could be seen as a failure, and we could look at some negative days ahead into next week. So far, we're looking at what's in front of us. We're not trying to anticipate anything. Just kind of look at the trend. This was a thought that we put into this ever since this kind of correction ran its course. So as you're familiar, if you've been watching the videos with the wave counts, we're still looking higher in this move, and then we're waiting for the moment the market will show us that a top is likely to be there. So far, that's not the case, and we continue to the upside. I have taken some more positions off today. I've added a couple of things. Maybe I'll show them here in a little while. But it's been a great day overall for the bulls. So taking a look at the Nasdaq, that's been up 54 basis points. So a decent move, not as strong as the Russell was, which was 1.7, but the expectation here again, especially after today's close in the Nasdaq, is that we will break higher. The S&P, it's at 6,600 close, new all-time highs. It's just a strong market. RTY, so that's the Russell, a big move in here, so 1.7. If I take a look at the weekly time frames, the target is obviously the all-time highs here at the end of 2023. So huge correction that we've had earlier this year, and we're looking for, I mean, we're trading 2420, so we're like what, 57 handles away from new all-time highs, which I think it's in the cards. So that's kind of my target in here, and then I'll check the positioning on Friday and see if more shorts were reduced. That's that kind of tells me that maybe it is time to start looking to take profits in the Russell. But for right now, I think I'm just going to continue to let it go. Dow Jones, again, a pretty powerful move, 1.3%. The RSI, it's beautifully sitting at about 65. RSP, which is the equal weight, sits at about 190, confirming the moves in here. So there's no divergence. There is a broad participation here in the market, which is kind of what we want to see. I might sound bullish, and a bit excited maybe by the fact that we're finally breaking and getting a bit more traction. Maybe you can read into that however you would like it. I mean, I'm trying to always kind of check myself and think, well, maybe I should be a bit cautious when I'm getting a bit more bullish. But I also got to respect the breakout, and I also want to trust it, and I also want to be able to participate. And the only way I can do that is by is by following along and trying to stay in it as much as possible. So I know kind of where the exits are in case the market turns, but I don't want to anticipate that. I want to let the market show me. I keep repeating this, I guess, in a lot of my videos, so you might get tired of hearing me say that. But that's the strategy that I personally run with. Equal weighted in the Nasdaq looks good too. SOX, a bit of a slower day. So if you could look at this, it, the problem here is that this looks a lot like a fourth wave, and this looks like a fifth wave. But I mean, I would have to go maybe to a weekly to kind of see some kind of a divergence, and I don't see it. And usually between a 4 and a 5, you get a divergence because 5 is the wave that's kind of terminal, and it tells you that it's time to, well, what if it isn't? What if it continues to go? So, based on that, I would, I don't know, I would not necessarily guess, right away that it's a fifth wave. So let's see if we break in the, below these levels in semiconductors. So a move would be back inside here below the moving averages, and it would be something like this that I would guess it would tell you that it's probably a fifth wave. So let's see. Bitcoin continues to act strong, and we've had a beautiful close yesterday above the levels that we looked at. So this pushed into a new long positions again. Today's move was also decent in here. We're right at that 50-day moving average, so we want to get above it. The next level is this back up here. I'm not going to repeat what I've said yesterday. So I remain bullish Bitcoin in here as long as we're staying above these levels. I want to be involved to the upside, and I will continue to add on further breakouts. Ethereum finally starting to move after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. He tried to crack as he was coming down this kind of 4220 level, and it just held. And I said, well, I think there's a lot of accumulation happening in here because it's just it just doesn't want to go down. It don't seem they're able to crack it. So every move down there was accumulated, or somebody had a lot of strong bids sitting at that level. Now will they be able to crack down through it? Who knows? But so far it hasn't happened. If they do, it's probably time to get out of the way. But it does look like like you might want to make a try to a new highs. So let's see what happens tomorrow. XRP also had a pretty decent day in here. From what I'm seeing in here, so 1.1% in the futures. I don't know if this was if it is the correct one, or if it's anyhow a pretty good move. I do want to see a bit more, but if you look at this whole thing, I mean, look at this massive. I mean, and this is just the XRP futures. I mean, look at this massive, beautiful ABC. Now, I remember, years ago, and we were trading all these, coins, and all of them had these moves, and it was, the crypto market was crazy, and maybe still is. I just don't watch a lot of the small coins, but it's. I remember these patterns and how they continue not to go. Bitcoin was trading fine and it was kind of continuing to go, but then these coins were doing this instead and just doing another one and like that and like that, and before you know it, it's like that's not a correction anymore. That's a pretty nasty kind of bear market. So I don't know if this is going to happen or not in XRP. Probably not. I mean, I think it's something kind of widely traded and it already established, but yes, I would love to see it above this level because that's the signal for much higher. But let's start first with getting back above this. We're back above the moving averages. That's good. So it was just a kind of a short trip below the 50. But XRP starts to look interesting, right? So it stopped going down. It started to make a wave one of the lows, maybe a wave two, another one, another two. So let's see if we can get some power. I would love to see a move for I know about 315 or so, but it is looking like it wants to keep pushing, so that could be interesting. 10-year it sold off obviously after the CPI today, which kind of came in line with expectation. I guess the market was maybe, and I was too, I was kind of fearful yesterday of maybe a nasty move in the CPI higher, and then for a bit of a crash in the market that hasn't come. So maybe that's why we've gotten this relief rally today. The dollar is still very weak. Gold, it's holding strong, is not doing anything wrong in here. It's just kind of consolidating the advance, and it probably has more upside. Silver, it cracked above 42 and is just tight and nice, which is what you want to see. This usually tells you there's more coming. So, remain bullish those. Oil, it hasn't been a trading vehicle for me in like, I don't even know, a couple of years. I don't think I've touched oil. It's just a mess. I'm not interested in it. And then VIX continuing to lose ground. Pretty quickly, I want to show you some of the stuff that I have. So I have all LRCX. I got this one on the break of this. I think this was yesterday. So it broke the B wave. So, I'm sitting okay on this one. We'll see if that continues. I'm long Tesla. This is versus short put. So it's a put credit spread. I think I have a 340, 335, if I'm not mistaken. That's where I'm at in Tesla. So continuing to look for higher that expires, I think in October 17 or something like that. I'm not going to hold it that much. Probably, we'll start taking profits if it continues to go. Just kind of start to reduce that position. BMNR, it's another one. On this one, I have the 40 the 4240 put spread. I took half of it off today. I got in this one a couple of days ago, and I'll continue to, because it is what happened, right? It just kind of broke this nice consolidation. It tried first. I tried to long it here. I got out. Then I waited, and I'm like, I'm going to try it again once I saw that this is losing momentum. So I got back in. I think somewhere up here. So that's BMNR. Zscaler, I have the 270, 260. I have only one position left in that one to take out. IWM, I'm still long. ANET, still long. This is my largest position, and it's been already for several months. NU, long. Reddit, 240, 230 put spread. PANW, still long in this one. This one was the one that gave me a little bit of a headache with this drop in here, but nothing happened there. I know this stock is just wild, but it is I like this company and their fundamentals, so this is not a short-term trade for me. Uber, I'm also long in this one. I'm looking for a much larger breakout in Uber to continue to go and just move towards 110, 120, what have you. We'll see how far it can go. But, I do like what I see there. And then NVIDIA, I have a 170, 165 put spread. So I'm looking for new all-time highs in there. Amazon, I have a 225 to 20, which I've opened, I think it was yesterday on this break. And or No, it wasn't. It was. I think it was on this one several days ago. Anyway, it is. I'm kind of flat on it. Nothing really happening over there. GE, I got this one yesterday and 270, 260, and then I have my dear old Kava, which I'm still long, and it's not doing anything. It's, if anything, it's in a big downtrend. So I do like Kava. I eat at the restaurants. I see a lot of institutions own it, so I'm gonna stick in there. But I think that this is a the way this looks. If it doesn't get back above these levels, this thing could go towards, who knows, maybe even $35 or something, because there is something going on with these food stocks. Like you look at Kava and then you look at CMG, which is Chipotle, and it's the same thing. It's like this thing got. I mean, look at this. I mean, it was at 70 and it's trading, almost 35, let's say. So it almost got cut in half from those highs. So that's a weird looking kind of pattern in here. So it's I don't know what's going on with these. Anyhow, that's where I'm at. I just wanted to kind of tell you my thoughts on the market and some of my positions. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Talk to you later. Bye.